Hi YouTube, Captain OJ here, and with another deck profile for you today. We ended up going to our locals today and ended up playing my Darklords. Unfortunately, my Darklord deck was camera shy the last time you seen it, but since then I made a few edits here and there, and I find it made it a hell of a lot more consistent. I chose Darklords mainly because I want to prepare for a Link summoning format. And Darklords, sure, they do have like a lot of rank 7s, 8s, sometimes even 9s and 10s, but for the most part you don't rely on the extra deck. So I thought this was a really good idea to bring these guys out, try to get them boosted up for the Link summoning format, so I don't have to worry about Links just yet. I made a few anti-meta choices, and I made a few other not anti-meta, but I'd say more personalized choices, mainly because of the way the deck plays, and I'll explain that when I get there.
And it's also your playstyle too.
Yeah, and my playstyle, but I'll explain my choices when I get there. So let's get to it. All right, now like usual, we'll start off with the monsters. So first, any Darklord deck, you have to play 3 Darklord Ixchel. Ixchel is like the Destiny Draw monster of the deck. You discard her and another Darklord card to draw 2. Most of the time, you can use other. You want to use like Superbia and draw, or you can even use the trap, or whatever you have available. But for the most part, like Darklord Rebellion or Darklord Superbia would probably be the best options for it. Next, I play 3 Darklord Nastin. Nastin is a funny card. A lot of people play it at 2, some people play it at 3. I find playing it at 3 is mandatory at the moment, mainly because a lot of the times you can't make a play. And if you have him in your hand, a lot of times you can discard your cards, pay 1,000 life points, and then use the effects from grave. Which reminds me, both Darklord Ixchel, Nastin, as well as some of the other ones that we'll see in a bit, they both have their the same effect where you pay 1,000 life points and you can use either the spell or trap effect from the graveyard. Like if you try to use the trap, normally it's like a Regeki Break. You discard a Darklord card or a Darklord monster from your hand or from the field to the graveyard to get its effect. But if you're using the effect from grave, you don't have to pay the cost. So that's really helpful and sometimes some clutch times. Yeah.
Did you add the new guy in here yet?
Yes, I did. Also FYI, this deck includes Darklord Ukobak, who's the new level 3 of the deck, which he comes in handy every now and again, but it's more just to fuel the graveyard than anything. Next, I play 2 Darklord Zerados, one of the OG Darklords. Don't get me wrong, Darklord Zerado is okay, and he did at the locals today come in handy with his Regeki effect. But for the most part, you're using him for a trade-in target and for a rank 8 place. The next, almost the heart and soul of this deck, Darklord Superbia. When Darklord Superbia is special summoned from the graveyard back to the field, you can special summon another fairy-type monster. With this effect, you can either go for Zerado and you can get either your rank 8 plays going, or you bring back Superbia, or not Superbia, you can bring back Ixchel or Nastin or whoever really. But a lot of the times you're either bringing back a level 8 so that you can go into a rank 8 play, or I also play one Darklord Christia. So you can either lock down the board with Superbia, go for a rank 8 play, get one of your other Darklords on the field, and just pay 1,000 life points and get one of the other effects off, either a Search, a Monster Reborn, Destruction, the list goes on. Next, I play 2 Darklord Tezcatlipoca. Some people don't play him at all, some people play him at 1 or 2. I play him at 2 because I really like the protection effect. Not only is he a super super strong Darklord, he's a level 9. He protects your Darklords, and I've actually had to use his effect once or twice just today at the locals, not including online or whenever I'm testing. And he really comes in clutch a lot of the times. Now for the new one, Darklord Ukobak. He's the only normal summonable Darklord monster that I play in the deck. Actually, I think he's the only normal summonable Darklord that you can normal summon. For the most part, you don't really use him to rank to go into rank 3s. I only play one Dante, but you'll see the main reason why I play Dante in here. But still, he more or less fuels your graveyard, and you can get either another Search off or whatever else if you have any of the other Darklord monsters out. Like I said before, I play 1 Darklord Krista. Darklord Krista, I used to play it at 2, but I found it was bricking too much, and I don't have ways of getting it out of my hand other than with trading. So I ended up only switching it down to 1, and I normally use Foolish Burial just to get it out of my deck so I'm not drawing into it later on. I also added in 2 Vanity's Fiends. Vanity's Fiend came in clutch once today, which is, it's not that bad. Sure, it sucks you can't special summon it from grave, but I don't care. You can normally spam the field with at least 2 or 3 Darklord monsters, and it's relatively easy to get it out. For the last of the monsters, I played 2 Ghost Reaper Winter Cherries. Now, like I said at the beginning, the Darklords do play a lot of level 7s, 8s, and you go into rank 7s, 8s, and sometimes more likely 10s. But it's not very often, and for the most part, the extra deck is unused. And for the main reason why I ended up picking up the deck, so I can go, don't have to worry for link summoning. But with Winter Cherries, it really helps out, especially against like anti-meta stuff, because if you're going up against an ABC player and you had the misfortune of going second, you have a possibility of getting rid of one of their main plays. Especially after they special summon once or twice, they have, they might have their combo pieces in the grave. It's like, just before you do anything else, Winter Cherries, I'm going to get rid of your Buster Dragon. So, Ghost Cherries, I haven't had the opportunity to use it just yet. I think I used it once or twice online against ABC players, but that's about it so far. I'm hoping to get it maybe another other like anti-meta cards, or meta like extra deck monster cards, so they'd be more relevant. But we'll see what happens in the coming months. Now for the spells. You still play 3 Allures. Every monster you play in here, except for Darklord Krista, is a dark monster. So Allure is crucial in the deck. Next, you play 3 Darklord Banner, or Banishment of the Darklords. This is your searcher for any Darklord card. Another spell, trap, monster, you name it, this is your card. For the most part, it's really helpful, but I find I've been getting more than one of them in hand. So what I've been doing is searching for Ix-Chill, discard the other one to keep drawing. So it still has its uses even if you have multiples in hand. Next, oddly enough, I play 1 Reasoning. The levels in this deck are all over the damn place. The only thing you have to worry about is if you come across either it's one of your other lower level monsters, like even if you get Uko back on the field, it's not that bad. But if you get like Winter Cherries, or if you have the misfortune of drawing into Vanity's Fiend can't be special summoned with it. Thankfully, that hasn't happened to me just yet. And most people called the numbers wrong. So it's been
that kid. 4. I'm like,
yeah, 4 and 6 against the Darklords, and I ended up getting a Superbia.
And he already knew what Darklords you had. I was like, why are you calling a 4?
But anyways, it's come in handy so far, and I've been really liking it, because even if you don't get a monster right away and you mail a lot of your spells and traps, you can use them from the graveyard, so it comes in handy a lot of the times. Next I play 6 level 8s in this deck. So trade-in really comes in handy, but then at the same time, it does brick a lot of the time. Unless you can use your Darklord Banishment to search for a level 8 and then keep drawing, but then it's getting a little bit risky because you're not able to search for a Monster Reborn the Monster Reborn of the deck. But anyways, the next I play 2 Foolish Burial Goods. This card is actually come in handy. Thankfully with the new with this card, you're able to send your spells, traps to the grave, and like I said before, you're able to pay 1,000 and use the effects again. So a lot of the times, you can send your searcher or your whatever else, and you can just get the effects off anyways. I play 1 Foolish Burial. Like I said before with Darklord Krista, I normally use it to get rid of that. You can also use it to get rid of something like Superbia to the grave so that you can bring back something else, which I've had to do that a few times today. One thing I really like about this deck, it's got its own archetype Monster Reborn, Darklord Contact. The only thing is it has a special summon the monster in defense, but it comes in clutch and it's really helpful. I ended up using this card like 3 times in like 3 turns just to keep my plays going. It was actually really funny because I ended up using the Darklord Banishment to search it out one turn, then the next turn I used it again to search it, and it was just, I don't know, I found it was pretty funny. I only played 4 traps, 2 Call of the Haunteds, and 2 Darklord Rebellion. Darklord Rebellion is essentially a Regeki break. You discard a card from your hand, or Darklord monster from your hand, or from the field to the graveyard. Non-targeted, destroy another card on the field. Spell, trap, or monster. So that really comes in handy. The same thing with Call of the Haunted. It's more of a combo piece than anything, just to get your Superbias or something back on field so that you're not bricking too much. Next for the extra deck, I'll start with the high monsters. Super Dreadnought, Rail Cannon, Gustav, Max. He ended up winning me a game today against a kid. I ended up
kid to death.
Yeah,
Don't stop! No.
I ended up having 2 Ixchels on field. I ranked them up into this guy, and I just used his effect to burn him. It was more or less a more powerful cowboy.
Yeah.
But you know, for 2,000 light points
instead of the 8.
Yeah. Number 81, Super Dora. Don't get me wrong, I don't use its effect too often. I mostly go on to Gustav Max just to get the burn damage. But Super Dora has come in clutch today. Against that same kid, he ended up using Archfiend's Eccentric to try to destroy it. But thankfully, its own effect protected it, and I maintained my field and just walked over the kid next turn. Next, I play only 2 rank 7s. Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon. Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon is really good for same thing, burning your opponent and just making them really conscious of what kind of play they're making. A lot of the times it becomes a ticking time bomb with your opponent. Whether they have a 2,000 life points, that means you can only make 4 plays, and if they don't make the right plays, that's game for you.
Totally.
Yeah. Even if you get it out early and you discard your materials, or if it gets destroyed or whatnot, it's still pretty decent because a lot of the times you could just special summon your Darklords back. Number 11, Big Eye. I really like this monster. It's come in handy with certain games. Unfortunately, I didn't use it today, but it's still really, really handy. Next for the another rank, Dante, Traveler of the Burning Abyss. I really like this card, but at the same time, I absolutely hate it within its own archetype. I've only really brought it out once or twice. I didn't get a chance to bring it out today, but it's more used as a cherries target than anything. I really don't like Burning Abyss decks or PK Fire decks. So Dante is one of their key cards, and I said, you know what, no, I don't like that anymore. So there's that. Next, I play this guy. Number 23, Lancelot. There we go. He's half decent. He can attack your opponent's life points directly and negate the next card. But I'm not quite sure. I was thinking of taking him out and replacing it with something else. More than likely for one of these next combo pieces. I play the Galaxy Eyes package a little bit. I'm just missing one of them. It's the Galaxy Eyes, what's that big one's name again?
Dark Matter?
Dark Matter. I'm missing Dark Matter. So there's a very good chance that when I get Dark Matter, I'm going to take out number 23 a lot, mainly because I haven't had the opportunity to use it at all, really. So when I get the opportunity, I'm probably going to play Galaxy Eyes and Dark Matter. Sorry, Dark Matter, just so I can use the Galaxy Eyes play and even steal my opponent's XYZ monsters.
He's a big monster too. 4,000.
Yeah, 4,000.
His effect that you banish 3 cards from your opponent's deck.
Yeah, but anyways, they're really good cards, and I plan on using them eventually. Next, finally, I just got him back. Number 22, Zombie Stein. This guy helped me beat a DDD deck today, and same thing, I kind of felt bad because I left him with 1,000 life points and his contracts ended up killing him on him. So he did have to work for me, but still, this was actually a really, really good card. It came in clutch today, and I thoroughly enjoyed the 45 attack power. Now for one thing I am missing out of this deck is a number 38 Hope Harbinger, which, as you're going to see, I only have 14 extra deck monsters, but that would be the 15th card. Not only can you use it as a cherries target, but it's also you can make rank 8s with this deck a lot more often than not. So he will be one of the more mainly used XYZ monsters. Now to just name a handful of cherries targets. Darklord. This deck is very graveyard centric, and you absolutely need to remove Darklord from the equation, or else you are gonna have a bad time.
Gonna have a bad time. Wait till
yeah.
you upgrade.
I threw in Cyber Dragon Nova mainly because just to prevent the idea of Infinity getting on the field. This is to some degree this is a combo based deck, and you need your effects to go off. So that's another reason why I have him in there.
You ever tried this against what's his name, Dynamist?
No, not yet.
Oh, they're beautiful. Get rid of his 2 Novas. Oh, you bastard.
The next one's ABC.
Yeah.
ABC, the same thing. It's more of a combo-based deck for this, a little bit for this deck. You need to draw, you need to search, you need to draw, you need to draw again. And then you just gotta go with your hopefully get your combo pieces. So I find ABC is another thing that's a little bit dangerous, but also especially they might be coming back in the meta a little bit because of the slower format, and they have a half decent game against Paleozoics. So we'll have to see what happens in the format, but as of right now, he's in here. I threw in Utopia,
stop lightning.
mainly to stop lightning. Lightning, you can spam out really, really big monsters in this deck, and I really like that about it. And Utopia can scare or stop that from happening. So there's that. The next one, same thing, I just kind of threw it in there, was Altamaya Tzolk'in. A lot of the times you have like a lot of decks that spam out Crystal Wing by getting out Altamaya, which is cool and all, but I don't like that either. I like getting my monster effects off. So if I get rid of this, then they got 2 level 6 monsters they can't really do a damn thing with. So I really like that idea, and that's about it for now. But at the same time, the other things I could switch these out for, like I could possibly switch out Nova for something like Totally Awesome, or I could switch this out, or Altamaya. It all really depends on what the meta is at that time. Because it's ABC might be doing a comeback, as well as something like Cosmos or whatever. They have access to Cyber Dragon Infinity, so Cyber Dragon Nova is a half decent choice. Like I said, I plan on putting possibly either Hope Harbinger or switching some of these cards out for Totally Awesome. So because right now Paleozoics are a big thing. I was thinking of putting in something for Blue Eyes, but Blue Eyes isn't too much of a threat as of right now. I've only gone against one of them, and I have other like cards that I could possibly use to get rid of it. So there's that for the extra deck so far. The side deck is more up to personal preference, and this one is actually very similar to my DDD side deck. 2 Dark Holes. I want to put my Regeki in here, but right now it's currently in another deck. I would like to add another DD Crow. DD Crow is an interesting card, especially for this format. Just activate his effect and get rid of a targeted monster or card in the grave.
Actually, that little kid had, I think, 2 of those in his binder.
But they're half decent cards, and I was thinking of putting a second one in here. Special for Paleozoics, 2 Jinzos. For the same reason why I have Vanity's Fiend in here, it's easy to get more than 1 monster on the field, and you can just tribute summon and then you lock them down for the game, and there's no real way of them coming back after that. For the moment, against like XYZ heavy decks, like rank 4 spam decks or whatever, I'm playing like Flying Sea. Half decent for Zodiacs, but more for like I said, XYZ heavy decks.
Oh yeah, you finally got your Ultra back.
Yeah, I got my my Flying Sea Ultra back. The next card I play special for Paleozoics would be Holding Legs. I want to play a second one in here as well. A lot of the times, if they don't chain or have anything in the graveyard, everything's getting bounced right back. So it's really, really good. Guardedkam ended up having a really, really good matchup using this with his DDDs today.
Beautiful.
So that came in clutch for him. The last 3 cards I play are actually virus cards. Eradicator Epidemic Virus, as well as Full Force Virus. Eradicator Epidemic Viruses are really, really good, especially against something like Blue Eyes, Cyber Angels, and other like spell or trap heavy decks, Paleozoics. So those Eradicator Epidemic Virus is really good for that. In that case, Full Force Virus is actually really good in this deck. Every one of your main Darklord monsters have over 2,000 defense. So if you can get one of those on the field, the chances are Full Force Virus is your card that you want to go to. So that's about it for that. Other cards I was thinking of throwing in here are like Anti-Spell Fragrance. I could theoretically put in something like Imperial Order and Imperial Iron Wall just to stop banishing. And the only thing is, if I were to use those, I have to make sure I time it correctly with the cherries, or depending on the matchup and what I end up banishing. In some cases, like something like Imperial Iron Wall would actually be helpful with the lures, because then I don't have to banish the card out of my hand. Yeah, that's so that's pretty helpful. But yeah, that's it for now. The side deck's probably going to be changing in the next few months, depending on how the meta ends up being. Yeah. Yeah, so we'll see what happens. Chances I'm going to throw in link summoning monsters in the side deck, or not the side, in the extra deck, depending on, like I said, depending on how the actual matchup goes. So we'll see what happens. Alright, so thanks a lot, YouTube. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Tell me what you think. Give me some advice and whatever else. Thanks a lot, everybody. Take care. On out.